नमस्कार बच्चों, आप सभी को इस वर्चुअल क्लास में स्वागत है। बच्चों, पिछली क्लास में हमने सरकारी बजट और हमारी जो अर्थव्यवस्था है इसके बारे में हमने देखा। अब इसी एपिसोड को आगे बढ़ाते हुए हम सरकारी बजट की जो तत्व है या फिर द स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ गवर्नमेंट बजट, सो वी विल बी लुकिंग इनटू द स्ट्रक्चर एंड द कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट्स ऑफ आवर गवर्नमेंट बजट। बच्चों, पिछले एपिसोड में हमने ये देखा कि ये जो शब्द बजट कहते हैं ये कैसे उत्पन्न हुआ, इसकी इतिहास क्या है, इसके बाद इसकी अर्थ क्या है, ये हमने देखा। और साथ ही साथ हमने ये देखा कि हमारी जो सरकारी बजट है, जो हमारे देश की जो सरकारी बजट है जिसे हम केंद्र बजट भी कहते हैं, इस बजट को कैसे हमारे वित्त मंत्री द्वारा, जो सत्ताधारी पार्टी है, सत्ताधारी जो दल है, इनके द्वारा हमारे पार्लियामेंट में कैसे पेश की जाती है। नाउ फ्रॉम दिस चैप्टर वी विल सी अबाउट द स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ गवर्नमेंट बजट। सो हाउ द गवर्नमेंट द बजट इज बीइंग मेड अप ऑफ। So when we talk about the budget, normally the budget can be divided into two parts, that is budget receipts or the budget expenditures. Apart from this, we have one more bifurcations of government budget where the budget can be said to be revenue budget or capital budget. So as per our syllabus, we will study about the budget receipts and the budget expenditure as two components of our government budget. Budget receipt. What do you mean by budget receipt? So budget receipts are the money receipts of government received during the fiscal year. That year it starts from the 1st April to the 31st March. So it will include all the money receipts received by the government during the fiscal year. When I am talking about the budget receipts, so these receipts can be further divided into the revenue receipts and the capital receipts. At the same time, we have one more component, that is budget expenditure. So again, as we have divided the budget receipt into two, the same way the budget expenditure can also be divided as revenue expenditure and the capital expenditure. So far what we have seen that the budget, the components of budget is what? It is comprised of two components, that is budget receipt and the budget expenditure. So now we will move ahead, we will see about the budget receipts. तो बच्चों, जैसे कि हमारी जो सरकारी बजट है इसे दो प्रकार से बांटा गया है, जहाँ पे हम बजट प्राप्तियां कहते हैं जिसे बजट रिसिप्ट कहा जाता है, दूसरी ओर होती है बजट व्यय जिसे हम बजट एक्सपेंडिचर कहते हैं। आगे हम इस बजट रिसिप्ट को फिर दो प्रकार से इसे बांटा जाता है जिसे हम रेवेन्यू रिसिप्ट एंड कैपिटल रिसिप्ट कहा जाता है, जिसे हम राजस्व प्राप्तियां और पूंजीगत प्राप्तियां कहते हैं। वैसे ही हमारी जो बजट एक्सपेंडिचर है, जहां पे बजट व्यय के बारे में हम पढ़ेंगे, उस समय इसे भी दो प्रकार से बांटा गया है, जहां पे हम इसे रेवेन्यू एक्सपेंडिचर एंड कैपिटल एक्सपेंडिचर, जिसका अर्थ है कि राजस्व व्यय और पूंजीगत व्यय। तो बच्चों, तो बड़े ध्यान से आप इसे अपने दिमाग में रखिएगा कि जैसे जैसे हम बजट की जो कंपोनेंट उसे पढ़ते जा रहे हैं, ये आगे चलकर दो दो भाग में इसे बांटा गया है। ये जैसे ये बढ़ते जाती है आगे जाकर, इसके अर्थ को और इसकी कंपोनेंट को जानना जरूरी है। तो मैंने जैसे पहले ही बताया कि बजट रिसिप्ट को हम दो प्रकार से बांट सकते हैं। कैसे? बजट रिसिप्ट को मैंने जैसे बताया कि एक होती है रेवेन्यू रिसिप्ट जिसे राजस्व प्राप्तियां कहते हैं, और दूसरा है कैपिटल रिसिप्ट जिसे हम पूंजीगत प्राप्तियां कहते हैं। तो बच्चों, राजस्व प्राप्तियां जो होती है जिसे हम रेवेन्यू रिसिप्ट कहते हैं, इसके अंतर्गत वो सारे प्राप्तियां, ऑल दोस इनकम अर्न्ड बाय द गवर्नमेंट during last 1 year which are been taken into account of the government's budget, where the revenue receipts includes all the incomes received through the way of taxes and non-taxes. That is the source of tax source and the non-tax sources. तो बच्चों, जो राजस्व प्राप्तियां होती है, इनकी स्रोत दो प्रकार के स्रोत होती है, जहाँ पे करों की जो स्रोत है इनसे प्राप्त होती है, और दूसरा होता है गैर कर, इसके द्वारा भी सरकार को प्राप्तियां उपलब्ध होती है। तो बच्चों, यहाँ पे हमने देखा कि राजस्व प्राप्तियों को आगे जाकर दो प्रकार से बांटा गया है, जिसे हम टैक्स रेवेन्यू, दैट इज टैक्स रिसिप्ट्स, दूसरा जो है नॉन टैक्स रिसिप्ट्स जिसे हम गैर कर प्राप्तियां कहते हैं। तो इसके आधार पर हमें ये प्राप्तियां प्राप्त होती है। अब हम देखेंगे कि ये पूंजीगत प्राप्तियां क्या होती है। What I mean by capital receipts. So before saying about the capital receipt, I would like to explain about the revenue receipts, जिसे हम राजस्व प्राप्तियां कहते हैं। तो बच्चों, तो revenue receipts are those receipts or those money, the incomes received by the government, which will not create any liability to the government. That means what? It will not cause any kind of reduction in the government's assets. So whenever the government used to get revenue from these revenues, that is the tax revenue and the non-tax receipts, in that component, these components will not create any kind of liability. तो बच्चों, इसे कहने का अर्थ है कि इन प्राप्तियों से, जो राजस्व प्राप्तियां हैं, इन प्राप्तियों से सरकार को किसी तरह की देयता उत्पन्न नहीं होती है। और सिर्फ देयता उत्पन्न नहीं होती है, बल्कि सरकार की जो संपत्ति है, इन संपत्तियों की जो मूल्य है, इनके मूल्य में भी कभी गिरावट नहीं आती है। तो ऐसे जो प्राप्तियां हैं, इसे हम राजस्व प्राप्तियां कहते हैं। At the same time, we have the one more receipt that has been called as what? Capital receipt, जिसे हम पूंजीगत प्राप्तियां कहते हैं। So when you talk about the capital receipt, so these receipts can be called as those incomes received by the government, which creates the liability for the government, and it also brings the reduction in the government's asset. तो बच्चों, हम यहाँ कह सकते हैं कि पूंजीगत प्राप्तियां वह प्राप्तियां हैं जिसके कारण सरकार को देयता उत्पन्न होती है। न केवल देयता उत्पन्न होती है, बल्कि इसके साथ साथ सरकार की जो पूंजियां हैं, उन पूंजियों की जो मूल्य है, इनके मूल्य में भी कमी आती है। Now we will see what are the revenue receipts are received by the government and what are the capital receipts received by the government. When you talk about the revenue receipts, as I told you that revenue receipts can further classified into tax revenues, that is tax receipts, and the non-tax receipts. तो बच्चों, यहाँ पे हम जो कर के द्वारा प्राप्त होने वाली प्राप्तियां होती है, और दूसरा जो प्राप्तियां होती है जिसे हम गैर कर कहते हैं, जो कर के अलावा जो बाकी जो प्राप्तियां हैं, इनके द्वारा भी सरकार को जो आय है वह उत्पन्न होती है। तो सबसे पहले हम कर प्राप्तियां हैं, जिसे हम टैक्स रिसिप्ट्स कहते हैं, इनके बारे में देखेंगे। टैक्स रिसिप्ट्स आर व्हाट? दे आर दी burden, or it can be said to be the part of some income which has been levied on one person, and in case of the direct taxes, at that time the same person, the person who earns the income, he directly used to pay these taxes to the government. प्रत्यक्ष कर वह कर है जो किसी एक व्यक्ति पर उस कर को लगाई जाती है, जैसे कि आयकर। जो व्यक्ति आय या धन कमाता है, उस व्यक्ति के ऊपर वो कर लागू होती है। और ये जो प्रत्यक्ष कर होती है, इसे माननीय होती है, जहाँ पे लोग अगर भुगतान करने से मुकर जाते हैं, तो वो कानूनी तौर पर उन पर जुर्माना या फिर कानूनी तौर पर उन पर किसी तरह की कार्रवाई की जा सकती है। एंड व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट द indirect tax, at that time that indirect taxes are being levied on one person and at last it is being paid by another person, तो जिसे हम अप्रत्यक्ष कर कहते हैं। तो बच्चों, आपको अच्छी तरह पता है, आपने इससे पहली जो आपकी जो कक्षाएं हैं, वहां पे भी आपने बड़े विस्तार पूर्वक आपने पढ़ा होगा कि प्रत्यक्ष कर क्या होती है और अप्रत्यक्ष कर क्या होती है। जो अप्रत्यक्ष कर है, ये ऐसी कर होती है जहां पे कर किसी व्यक्ति के ऊपर लगाई जाती है, लेकिन अंतिम में कोई और व्यक्ति, जिसे हम उपभोक्ता कहते हैं, उपभोक्ता के द्वारा ही इसकी भुगतान की जाती है। सो स्टूडेंट्स, व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट द टैक्सेस, again these taxes can be divided into progressive tax and regressive tax. Again, when we talk about the progressive and regressive taxes, we need to understand what is the meaning of progressive tax and regressive taxes. Progressive taxes are those kind of taxes where the tax rates decided by the government or the taxes imposed on the person who gets the income. At that time, the progressive tax rates will get changes according to the level of income. That means what? Here in an economy, a person who earns less amount or who earns less money in the economy, he pays less tax to the government. The tax rate which is being imposed on that person will be less. At the same time, a person who gets a more income, who earns more in the economy, at that time he used to pay more money to the government as a part of tax. That means what? The two people in the same economy are paying two different tax rates to the government. Why? Because of the tax policy, that is the progressive tax policy adopted by the government. So this will bring the equality between the distribution of income and wealth in the economy. At the same time, there is one more tax rate. It can be said to be a regressive tax. In regressive tax, what we can see that here the tax rates are static. That means what? They are fixed, where one tax rate is being imposed by the government to all the peoples in the economy. So what will happen here? This tax rate will bring a great difference between the income level of poor and the rich in the economy. So where, take an example, if 10% of tax is being imposed on a person who is earning 1 lakh rupees in a year, he has to pay nearly 10,000 as his income tax to the government. At the same time, when one more person is earning 1 crore rupees, so he is also need to pay nearly 10% of the same rate of tax to the government. So what will happen here? The person who is getting a less revenue, he will be having a more burden, he will be having a more tax burden on his head. So mostly the progressive tax rate is being adopted by most of the world's economy, so that it will bring a equalization between the rich and poor, where the government can very easily redistribute the income and wealth between the people. Now we will look at the constituents of revenue receipts. So how the revenue receipts are being collected by the government. So as I told you that revenue receipts can be classified or can be divided into tax receipts and the non-tax receipts. So look here, what are the components are included in the tax receipts? We have income tax, corporation tax, estate duty, gift tax, custom duties, and excise and sales tax. Now many of the indirect taxes are being classified into the GST, that is goods and service tax. Apart from the tax receipts, we have non-tax receipts. What are the non-tax receipts? That means what? Those incomes which are being received by the government, not by the way of taxes, by the way of fees, the fines, the escheats, and the income from public enterprises. And at last, we have one more thing, that is from the way of grants and donations. In the way of grants and donations also, government used to get the receipt, that is the income. We have one more thing, that is the income from the sale of spectrums. The income which is earned by the government through the way of sale of spectrums, that is the 2G and 3G, now we have 4G and 5G. So by selling these spectrum to the private sector, to the private investors, the government gets the receipts. So these can be classified as non-tax receipts. Capital receipt. So what are the components are there in the capital receipt, जिसे हम बच्चे पूंजीगत प्राप्तियां कहते हैं. तो मैंने जैसे बताया कि पूंजीगत प्राप्तियां वो प्राप्तियां हैं जिससे सरकार को देयता उत्पन्न होती है और सरकार की पूंजियों में घाटा होती है. तो ये किस प्रकार की प्राप्तियां चले देखेंगे. So the capital receipts, they can be divided into three components, where first one is what? Recovery of loans, borrowing and other liabilities, and other receipts. So first thing, recovery of loan. So these are the loans which are being given by the central government to the state governments for the developmental activities. So here the central government used to recover all those loans which are being distributed to the state governments for that developmental activity. So that is the first thing, where the government used to get the recovery in the form of principal amount and the interest. Next one is what? Borrowings. So what are the borrowings? Even here the central government used to borrow the money from the RBI, not only from the RBI, even from the foreign countries and the World Bank. So what is happening here? So here when we borrow the money, so we know that the loans or the borrowings which we get from some other source, here we need to pay them back with a certain rate of interest. So here we can say that this will brings the liability to the government and it reduces the government asset. And at last, apart from this, we have some other receipts. In other borrowings, we can see that the central government, the government used to get the revenue in the way of privatization and the disinvestment. So through the way of disinvestment, all that public sectors are being sold in the hands of private sectors. When these sectors are being sold in the hands of private sectors, the government gets the lump sum money for its expenditure. So they can be said to be one type of capital receipt, where due to the capital receipt, the assets, the government's assets got reduced. So that is, in other asset we can say that disinvestment and the privatization. So through this way also the government used to get the revenue. So students, you can take an example of, say, recently the government is trying to sell the Air India to the private sector. So what will happen by this? So by selling these government airlines in the hands of the private sector, the government gets the revenue. These are the ways through which the government gets the receipts, which can be classified as capital receipts. बच्चों, अब हम प्राप्तियों के बारे में देखा हमने, जो राजस्व प्राप्तियां हैं और पूंजीगत प्राप्तियां हैं। प्राप्तियों को देखने के बाद हम व्यय के बारे में देखेंगे, जिसे हम बजट व्यय कहते हैं। So now we will look about the budget expenditure. So what is the budget expenditure? Budget expenditure is the estimated expenditure of government during the fiscal year in development and the non-developmental programs. So what are the programs? So whatever the expenditures are being estimated, that means what the planned expenditure and the non-planned expenditure by the government during a fiscal year for the development of the country. So these budget expenditures are further classified into revenue expenditures and the capital expenditures. So first we will look at the meaning of revenue expenditure and the capital expenditure. तो बच्चों, राजस्व व्यय वह व्यय होती है जहां पे सरकार को किसी तरह की देयता उत्पन्न नहीं होती है, और इसके साथ साथ सरकार की जो पूंजियां हैं इन पर भी, इनके मूल्य पर भी किसी तरह की घाटा नहीं होती है. That means what? These expenditures will not create any kind of reduction in the government's asset, and it will not create any liability to the government. So in the revenue expenditure we can very easily say that the payments, the interest payments, the subsidies, the wage bills and the defense purchases, these expenditures done by the government can be said to be the revenue expenditure, where we can see that from these expenditures government is not creating any kind of assets. At the same time we have one more expenditure that is being called as what? Capital expenditure, that is जिसे हम पूंजीगत व्यय कहते हैं. तो बच्चों, पूंजीगत व्यय वह व्यय होती है, वह खर्च होते हैं सरकार के जिसके कारण सरकार के पास सरकार की संपत्तियां बनती है, संपत्तियां उत्पन्न होती है. ना केवल संपत्तियां उत्पन्न होती है, इन व्यय से सरकार को किसी प्रकार की देयता उत्पन्न नहीं होती है. So we can say that from these expenditures government creates the asset, and not only it creates the asset, it will not create any kind of liability to the government. So for example we can say that all that purchases made by the government in the form of lands, buildings, equipments, machineries, and we can see that the expenditures made by the government in the construction of hospitals, bridges, the roads and the government buildings, all the infrastructure facilities provided by the government to the economy, they are being classified under the capital expenditure. So by these expenditure, what is happening here? Government creates the asset. Take an example of your school building. You can see a huge school building. So all these huge government school buildings are built by the government. So once they are being built, they become an asset for the government. So students, so these are the two components of budget expenditure, where the budget expenditure can be classified into revenue expenditure and the capital expenditure. Okay students, so far we have seen about the budget expenditure. One more thing I want to tell you, that these budget expenditure can also be classified as planned expenditure and the non-planned expenditure. So what is planned expenditure and the non-planned expenditure? So planned expenditures are the specified plans and the programs or the assistance which are being given to the central government to the state government. The non-planned expenditures can be said to be expenditures are not related with the specific plan and the programs. The assistance of the central government to the state government where it is not being planned earlier. So the budget expenditure can be classified as planned expenditure and the non-planned expenditures. Okay students, after seeing the structure of our government budget, now we will see the budget deficit. What do you mean by budget deficit? बजट जिसे हम बजट घाटा कहते हैं, बजट घाटा क्या होती है? So that can be explained very easily where we can see that the budget expenditure is more than the budget revenue. That means what? The expenditure which are being done by the government during the fiscal year, that value of that expenditure will be more than the revenue. तो बच्चों, सरकारी घाटा वह घाटा होती है जहां पे हम ये देखेंगे कि हमारी जो वित्त वर्ष है, एक वित्त वर्ष के अंतर्गत सरकार के द्वारा की गई जितने भी व्यय है, व्यय की जो मान है वो हमारी प्राप्तियों से अधिक होती है। तो जैसे ही हमारी प्राप्तियां कम और व्यय अधिक होती है, इस स्थिति को हम सरकारी या बजट घाटा कहते हैं। दैट इज द बजट डेफिसिट। सो व्हेन वी स्टडी अबाउट द बजट डेफिसिट, these deficits can be further classified into three kind of deficits. One is revenue deficit, second one is fiscal deficit, and the third one is primary deficit. Now we will start studying about these three kind of deficits. First one, that is the revenue deficit. So revenue deficit is what? It is the difference between the total revenue expenditure and the revenue receipts. So here, when the value of revenue expenditure is more than the revenue receipt, at that time the deficit created by these budget is being called as what? Revenue deficit. Now the fiscal deficit. Fiscal deficit can be said to be the budget deficit where the total budget revenue will be subtracted from the budget expenditure. So to get the value of fiscal deficit, the budget expenditure is being subtracted by the budget revenue. So when I am talking about the budget expenditure, these includes both the expenditures, that is the revenue expenditure and the capital expenditure. And when these expenditures are being with the revenue, that is budget revenue, the budget revenue includes the value of the revenue receipts and the capital receipts
other than borrowing.
So when we are having the deficit value, that shows that the value of budget expenditure will be more than the budget revenue. And at last we have one more deficit which can be said to be the primary deficit. So here what we can see that the primary deficit can be calculated by subtracting the value of interest payments, that is the payment of interest on the accumulated national debts. So that interest payment made by the government to the national debts should be subtracted from the fiscal deficit. The primary deficit shows the deficit formed by the government's budget. So this is being calculated by subtracting the interest payment with the fiscal deficit. And you know how to get the fiscal deficit? Fiscal deficit can be calculated by value of budget expenditure and the budget revenue. So these are the three types of budget deficits which we can see in our government budget. So based on this, we have some numericals. So from this chapter, some numericals are being asked to calculate the values of revenue deficit, fiscal deficit and the primary deficit. तो बच्चों ध्यान से सुनिएगा कि इस जो बजट घाटा है, जिसे हम राजस्व घाटा, राजकोषीय घाटा और प्राथमिक घाटा कहा जाता है। तो बच्चों इन्हीं कॉन्सेप्ट्स पर हमारे परीक्षा में कुछ जो न्यूमेरिकल क्वेश्चन से पूछी जाती है। तो यहाँ पे हम कुछ क्वेश्चंस के बारे में डिस्कस करेंगे, ध्यान से सुनिएगा। स्टूडेंट्स, look at this table carefully where the budget estimate of the budgetary status of the government of India during the year 2015-16 is given. Here in this table we have two columns where the items is being given, and in one more column we have the values of these items in crore, rupees. So based on this table, we need to find out the value of revenue deficit, fiscal deficit and the primary deficit. So look at the table carefully. So based on this table, we need to calculate the value of revenue deficit. How the revenue deficit can be calculated? We know that the formula where the revenue deficit is equal to revenue expenditure minus revenue receipt. So look at the table where the revenue expenditure value is 15,36,047 crore minus revenue receipt. The value is 11,41,576 crore. It gives the value of 3,94,471 crores. Now we'll start doing the calculation of fiscal deficit. So how the fiscal deficit can be calculated? So here, so fiscal deficit can be calculated by the total expenditure with the total revenue. That is the total expenditure where we have the value of total expenditure as 17,77,477 crore minus the total receipts. How we can get the value of total receipts? The total receipts can be calculated from the table where we have the value of revenue receipt, that is 11,41,576 crore plus the recovery of loan, the other receipts where the value is 80,253 crores. So altogether we get the value of 5,55,648 crore as the value of fiscal deficit. And one more thing we need to calculate here, that is the primary deficit. So primary deficit can be calculated by subtracting the value of interest payment from the fiscal deficit. So fiscal deficit value we have already got here, that is 5,55,648 crore minus interest payment. So interest payment is being given in the table in the item number 9 where the value is 4,56,145 crore. So we get the value of 99,503 crore as the value of primary deficit. So in this chapter, so far what we have seen the meaning of budget, we have seen the objectives of the budget, and after that we have seen the components or the structure of budget. So how the budget is being formed. So it is comprised of the receipts and the expenditure. And at last we have seen about the budget deficit. When we are not having the balanced budget in the country, it creates the deficit. So that deficit can be further classified as revenue deficit, fiscal deficit and the primary deficit. Okay students, that's all for today. We have seen about the budget. I hope you have understood this chapter clearly. Even I have shown the video of our finance minister, how she used to introduce the budget in our parliament. And now in this episode we have seen the components of budget and the budget deficit. Okay बच्चों, आज के हमारी अध्ययन के आधार पर मैंने आपको कुछ गृह कार्य दिया है. मैं आशा करता हूं कि इन गृह कार्यों को आप बड़े आसानी से घर पर कर पाएंगे. जैसे मैंने पहले कहा कि आप अपने स्मार्टफोन में इन गृह कार्य को रिकॉर्ड कर सकते हैं या फिर अपने सेटअप बॉक्स में इस एपिसोड को रिकॉर्ड कर सकते हैं. अगले एपिसोड में मिलेंगे एक नई कॉन्सेप्ट के साथ. तब तक के लिए सुरक्षित रहिए, सतर्क रहिए. नमस्कार.